Hey guys, it's John, and welcome back to the Terror House series. So before I get into this video, if you guys could please like this video, it really helps my channel out a lot, and it helps the video out a lot. I quite like doing this series, and more likes will help motivate me and stuff, you know. Shameless. But today, this is the trap we're going to be doing today. This trap is probably one of the more difficult traps. Not difficult as in difficult building it, more difficult as in once you get into it, you're kind of fucked. There is definitely ways of getting past this. It's a fairly cruel trap in that it looks like it might be quite simple, but then when you get into it, it's fairly difficult. So what happens is, sorry, the floor will what's the word? The floor will retract and then extend again, making you fall through one layer at a time. Once you fall through a layer, you won't be able to move because your top half of your body will be stuck in a glass block, and you won't suffocate because the glass block would probably be considered hollow. So there are a couple of ways of getting past this trap. One is if you just constantly jump. It does sometimes work. Sometimes you can fall through though. But the aim is to get to the other side, and you have to open the door at the right time. You have to try and open the door just before the pistons retract, just so that you can try and get through. So I'm going to try to do it here. I'm going to have to get right next to it, so do it about now, and there you go. Got through. So it is fairly difficult. If you've just started playing this map and you haven't seen any of the development of it, and you don't really know any of the tricks of the trade, I'd guess, of using this trap, you're kind of screwed. But anyway, I'm gonna explain the concept of it. So what we have here, I don't know what this clock would be called. I would probably call it a 12 clock, I don't know. It's quite a large clock and it takes a little bit while. And here we have a rapid pulse. I've done loads of these in almost all of my traps so far. And here we just have a long line of pistons which comes up here. We need repeaters here because almost all of them, the redstone runs out without the repeaters. So we have a repeater on all of them, that way all the pistons will always retract and extend at the same time. Another reason for the pistons, for the repeaters, is so that the floor below you is going to retract first, and that way it will extend as you fall down at a better time. Because if they were to retract, for example, if these were both to retract at the same time and you fell through at the same time, you would sometimes fall through 2 layers rather than 1. So having them, the ones below you retract first, it sort of puts on a little bit of delay so that you don't. I think it pretty much stops falling through 2 layers at all. So you'll always only fall through 1 layer, and sometimes if you jump, sometimes you won't even fall through any layers. So basically we just have all the pistons attached to the same output here. We had to invert it so that the piston's default state was extended, and then as the clock pulses, they're going to retract in that really fast manner because of the rapid pulse. And if we were to have this rapid pulse a bit quicker, the pistons don't even retract. They just stay like that. So we need it to have it a little bit slower, and that way they have, I think this would be considered only 1 pulse, 1 tick of like retracting and pulling back. But anyway, right. I'm trying to make this episode a little bit shorter than my previous episodes, so I think now we're just going to go and build it. It's a fairly easy concept, just really really mean. So let's get onto my actual world. So go to our terror house, and I think I'm going to build, I think I'm going to build this one on this side this time. Or we might build it in the center here, but the thing is, if we build something in the center here, we kind of have lots of stuff on either side, and I kind of didn't really think about that before, but so we probably won't have enough space to add in all the pistons and everything, so I think we're going to do it around about here. Here we have plenty of space, and it means that we can, it doesn't really take up that much space, especially if we do it over here, since the exit from this one actually goes right here. We'll have quite a lot of space, generally around about the middle and all over that side, so that for the next trap, we could have this next one sort of curl around and bring it back to the middle again. I want to have a middle trap here, rather than it just all being around the outside, if that makes any sense. But anyway, yeah. So our corridor needs to be 2 wide. And what I think I might do is I might have the players go up some steps here. And that way we don't need to have like some super difficult mechanism and dig out all underground again, because that's kind of tedious and boring. So what I'll probably do is I'll have a 2-way staircase, probably around, where's my netherrack stairs? We'll probably build this along here, and then we'll have our 2-way staircase like there. And it's just going to come up here, probably almost up to this level here. And then they'll walk forward, and they might just step straight into the room. Or we might make them fall into the room. Haven't quite decided yet. Okay, so I've actually gone up further than I really needed to. This way that we can actually make a way of making them fall into the trap. I think making a way of just making them walk into it is going to be a bit too... I don't know how to describe it, but like, it's a bit too... It doesn't have a scare factor. You want to have them like... It's just too predictable. Like, if they know there's going to be a trap, if they know they're walking into a trap, that's not what we want. We want them to have some sort of scare in falling into something, so... Or like being pushed into something, for example. So, what we could do is, we could have like a piston push them in. Like, we could have some sort of just yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, right. I just thought of my plan right now, this second. So what we're going to have is 2 walls like that. We're going to have pistons that are going to be... we'll need a way of activating it though, so we need a tripwire somewhere. But we're going to have pistons that are... It's the same kind of thing that I've done before, but it's slightly different, so it's going to be... I think this is going to be a pretty cool concept. So what we're going to have is pistons here. And these pistons are going to pull one side of the floor away. So I'm going to quickly hook that up now like this. And what's essentially going to happen is, if we just hook this up to a lever for just now, or a torch, the default is going to be like that. And then when the... I guess we could have the wall just like that. And when they hit the tripwire, it's going to happen like this. Oh god. Die. There we go. That one side is going to fall away. And then we're going to have pistons on this side. Like, probably here. Like that. Oh, we need it. Wait, we can't do it there actually. No, I guess we can. We could just get rid of them too. Like that. Or I need to speed this up because I want this to be a quicker episode. So this side is just going to push a block over. So this default state is going to be like this. And we have, so that default state is going to be like that, and that default state is going to be like that. So then when they hit a tripwire, this is going to happen at the same time, but that's going to happen, and then that's going to push them over. So they're essentially being pushed into it rather than falling into it. I think that's a little bit like it's just something different. Like for example, over here, we have a way of making them just fall into it. Here, the tripwire, they hit the tripwire and they just fall into the next trap. But this one they actually get pushed into it, which I think is a pretty cool thing to do. So, anyway, let's get on to building the actual trap. Okay, so I've kind of set everything up. This is what you're going to see when you first come into this room. This is from the previous trap. Well, this is the door from the previous trap, and once you're in here you won't be able to get out. There's no way of getting out unless you break the rules of breaking a door. So, when you come in here it's going to be very dark. You can't really see anything. I'm sorry if you can't see anything on YouTube, but you can kind of see something on when you're actually playing Minecraft. And when you get up to the very top of the staircase, all you're going to see is at the very end of the room there's a dead end, but there's 2 pressure plates there. So when you walk onto the pressure plates, something's going to happen. But you don't know what's going to happen. And you know something's going to happen. So it's a bit scary, I'd say. So if you were to walk on either of the pressure plates or even both of the pressure plates, what's going to happen is you're going to be pushed back and pushed into the next trap. So the only problem with this is you can kind of see some redstone here, but when you fall into the trap, I'm going to have to make some of the trap underground. It's kind of annoying, but it doesn't matter that much. So this is where the trap's going to be. We're going to have the platform where you land on probably about here. It's a bit far down, but it stops you from being able to break any of the redstone or anything. Or I guess you could break it, but actually, will you be able to break it? We'll have that there and that there. We'd have walls on either side like that. And we'll have probably ways of making, whoops, 1, 2, 3, ways of making it too dark so you can't see anything. So there are a couple of problems with this, but I think overall we should be good. Now, I might need to make them fall a bit further actually. Just so they can't break anything. If they wanted to. Not that they would, because it's kind of against the rules, but whatever. So, once we're up here, you're going to land on this platform, and this is where we're going to actually have the trap start. So the pressure plates are what's going to start the actual trap. So we need to have the pressure plates hooked up to our clock. So our clock's going to need to be down there somewhere. And then we need to dig underground a fair bit, and we'll see what we need to do after that. Okay, so I've laid out all the pistons so far, and that's what it looks like. Ground floor, well, the top floor of the pistons is this floor, obviously, so this is where they're going to land when they first get pushed off. There's a fair bit to fall, I admit. So I think the first block that they can fall off is this one. So this is where they'll probably land every time. We'll have walls on every side, obviously. So it's only going to be a 2 wide corridor, and this is pretty much what it's going to look like. And now we just need to add in the redstone, and I'll quickly get into that. I'll probably do one side, then I'll explain it. Okay, so the first thing I've done is I've hooked up all the pistons on this side to redstone, and it's not connected yet, but that's what it looks like. The second thing we want to do is, I'll clear out a little bit more space, but what we want to do is have all the pistons hooked up to one wire. So to do that, we're going to need to use repeaters again, and I'll show you the pattern that I use, and I'll explain why I use the pattern. So we're going to have, first of all, we're going to have probably a repeater here, and then this repeater is going to activate all this redstone on this line here. So what we want to have is we want to activate up the next line. So we're going to have a block there, and we're going to have this pattern. So we'll have a repeater there, and that's just so that we can have what I mentioned earlier was the delay. So we have the delay, that one will activate, that piston, this line of pistons will activate before this line, and I already explained why I did that. So That's what each step is going to look like. And we're going to have that all the way up every step. So we're going to start it here this time and bring it along like that. So then we're going to have our repeater and our redstone. Then we'll have, once again, the reason why we miss out a block is because we don't want to reactivate the bottom line again, otherwise we'll get because if we do that we'll have essentially just a clock and then it will just be constantly activated, and that's not what we want to do. So we're just going to have the same pattern over and over. It's going to come up here and finally activate the top piston. So when this is activated, that's what it's going to look like. And when it's deactivated... Oh! Alright. I thought those pistons were supposed to be... Never mind, right. Yeah, so that's what it's going to look like. And we're going to have exactly the same thing on the other side, just mirrored. Okay, so I've done all of that. So then we can activate this side, and it should all be activated. Deactivate this side. Yep, and deactivate this side. Yep, it all works. So now we want to have our clock, which is going to be under here, and we want our rapid pulse, which is also going to be under here, and then we want to have our... Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is have the pressure plates come down here and activate the clock. But the thing is, we want to also have a door. We want to have our door... where's the door going to be? I think it's going to be here. So we want to have everything else out of the way, which means we will have a corridor probably like this. Which means we'll need to have some sort of... I think I'll make the corridor first, actually. So then we want this... We probably just want to bring them back up to ground level again. So I'll do that, which means just placing down steps. Oops. I don't really like how they... how every time you accidentally just misplace one of the steps, it just goes upside down. It's kind of weird, but... So it's just going to be like this. And then we want to have all the redstone invisible. So we want to have... We'll probably have our clock and everything on this side of the corridor. So we need to have a way of bringing the redstone from the pressure plate down to activate the clock. So let's go do that. Pressure plate is there, sitting in there. So we'll have our redstone for our clock just coming down here. That's the actual redstone there. Whoops. Oh shit. Do that, there we go. Okay. So then this will just come spiraling down. Like this. And down, whoops, down to activate our clock, which is going to be all the way down there. So we might need to add in, shit. We might need to add in a repeater somewhere, because this is going to be quite a long wire. Might as well just, whoops, not a door. Add a repeater, like here. Like that, and then we just have this, once again, going down. Oops. And spiral it down, yes. Okay, so we have our redstone from that, which means we'll have our clock around about here. So where's our... Let's make a little bit of space. Probably have this come up here and have our clock. So for this we're going to want to have either the rapid pulse then the clock, or the clock then the rapid pulse. I think the way I had it before was just the clock then a rapid pulse, so let's just do that again. So shit, is this gonna work? Yeah, it will work because we have a repeater. So how big was it again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 on either side, so we might have enough space for a rapid pulse. Ah shit, I don't think we will actually, so let's make a little bit more space. Okay, so I figured it out. Rapid pulse generator is here. into an inverter, which will activate all the pistons, so they're all activated. The inverter goes into these side here, and then it goes underground and comes up to this side here. So then we'll need to have our clock, which is going to be over here, and we want a 6 clock, so, or a 12 clock, I don't know the difference. 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll essentially just have this like this. Oops, and there we go. So this is got 12 repeaters, so I'm just going to call it a 12 clock. I really don't know the names. So all these are going to have full delay, just so it's really long. Then we'll have the redstone along here. So we want this redstone essentially just to come all the way along and activate it here. Like that. So, let's test it out. When we hit... Good thing about this is we don't need to reset anything, I don't think. So when we push it in, it should start working. I don't think it did though, so where could that have stopped? When we hit the pressure plate, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ah, we might need a repeater here, like around about there or something. So let's do that. See if, oops, I'll probably make it daytime because no one, everyone says I keep forgetting to do that. God, I'm lagging for some reason. There we go. Okay. So is that working now? Yep. It works. The only problem with this trap is if you don't have a very powerful computer, you could get some serious lag. But I think that's pretty much the trap finished. We just need to add in our walls and our glass and our door, and that's us done pretty much. So I'm going to quickly do that. And I think we have one problem in that I put my door in the wrong place. And because we want the door to be a butt up one. So our door is going to actually be here. And we're going to have our button for the door is going to be, put down our button there, and the door is going to be there. So that's what it's going to look like. And now I'll quickly add in all the glass and the walls, and I'll show you guys. I might actually deactivate this first. There we go. So we're going to add in the glass and the walls, and I'll be right back. Pretty much finished everything. We have the walls, we have all the glass inside, we have the lava. All the wiring's finished, and I think we're done, and we can finally test it. So I'm going to quickly come in here, close it up. And we've got another hole over there we need to close up. There we go. So actually I'm going to quickly open this hole just so you guys can actually see what I'm going to be doing. And when we actually finish it, we're not going to have a hole there. So I shall go into survival. I'm going to save my inventory. And let's go up. So we're going to come up. We're not going to see anything here. It's all going to be pitch black. We're going to go, oh, seems to be a dead end. But there are pressure plates here, but we can't even get out. So our only choice really is to actually hit the pressure plates. But we don't really know what's going to happen. Anything could happen, and it could be extremely bad, and it most likely is. So we get pushed in, and that's when we start thinking, oh shit, we are in a trap. So the only problem here is, oh god, I'm lagging for some reason. Huh. Seems that my Minecraft doesn't like when I use pistons. Okay, I think that was actually my fraps. And my fraps just died for some reason. And I'm gonna go... Oh yeah, I can't fly because of the... Let's go out and see what happened. I think the wiring must have fucked up. Let's go see. Oh yeah, I broke this wire here, I remember. but my fraps is still lagging like hell. I don't know why. I'm gonna quickly test something. So I relogged and it should be working now, so let's try again. There is an empty empty hallway. I don't know why I'm lagging so much. It's kind of weird. It only happens when I'm recording now, and it's never happened like this before. And I don't think it is even the trap. Okay, I think I finally finally fixed it. I'm not sure what the problem was, but oh well. Yeah, so we're in here. Set the trap and see what happens. Oh, we're gonna fall in. That wall is gonna be closed up eventually, but oh, we have no idea what we're doing yet. So essentially we're just gonna keep falling down. And we're gonna keep falling down, and hopefully we'll actually notice the door here. And we're gonna see that door there. And we kind of want to go over in that general direction, so let's try and jump over there. Yep, we managed to get there. We actually hit. So, open the door, open the door! Oh, damn it. Right, I need to do this at perfect timing, so... Now! Oh, nearly got it. Nearly got it. Right. No. Oh shit, no, we're dead. So it is a fairly difficult trap. And... I think it's pretty cool. I have literally no idea where I am, so I need to go find my terror house. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think it's a pretty cool trap. I'll have the download link in the description, and I shall see you guys later.